Hey everyone and welcome back. In this video we're doing something a little different. Instead of just going through and like explaining my deck or thought process, I'm going to show it to you too. So we're going to go through a game that I've recorded already. I'll kind of explain where I was thinking, why I was doing different things, where I was taking certain lines. What I thought overall, like if I made any misplays, if I wish I would have done anything different. And I'll just kind of be going along with that as the game progresses. If you like this kind of video, let me know in the comments. If you don't like this kind of video, let me know in the comments. I've gotten kind of a couple of questions regarding how to play the different cards in different scenarios. So hopefully this kind of gives a little insight into kind of like my thinking when I'm playing the deck. So again, let me know your thoughts below. And if you guys seem to like it, I'll go ahead and do this with different heroes, and I'll put more games that I feel like maybe I made a couple mistakes, and maybe games that I did a lot more mistakes, and then I'll kind of explain why I made the mistakes, what I was thinking at the time, and we'll go from there. So I hope this is a great learning experience for everyone, including me, and I'll see you there. All right, so as you guys can see, the game will be against a Victor. Against Guardians, I choose to run 70 cards, just throw all of the sideboard in to try to prevent fatiguing. Realistically, against Victor, we might be able to run 60 because a lot of his attacks are much more like damage centric. But I think he just has a lot of value, so I think it's safer to just run the 70. And then I'm running Nebula Blade to give us a second attack after, say, we play like a Deathly Whale. And it won't actually ruin the Deathly Whale rune chant setup, because we won't close the chain. We'll just send it the Nebula Blade. Whereas, like, if we were trying to send a second attack that was a rune gate, obviously we need to use the rune chants from the Deathly Whale. But against Guardians, it's a little bit of a different like game plan. We need to focus on like rune chant stacking and sending very few turns that have very large damage numbers. Because they're just so efficient at blocking and then sending damage back that we basically just need to like accept that there are going to be cases where they're going to send damage back. We're just going to have to take it, and we're just going to have to send more. This is a little bit different into like Bravo, because Bravo can send dominated crush attacks that can really mess with us with the on hits. But against Victor, it's a lot of it is just damage and value. So it's like a little less concerning, because if there is really a crush attack that we need to block, like absolutely, a lot of times we can just do it and not really worry about it. So starting off, I got first. I chose to banish the Phantom Wraith because I never like banishing the Widespread Annihilation unless I have a setup. Then we're going to Grasp, getting rid of the Looming Doom so that we have a widespread just in case we don't draw an attack next turn. And then Arsenal, the D-React. We do get the Deathly Whale, though. So right now, we were just setting up. The Widespread is kind of a dead card at this point because we really care about the Deathly Whale. We can Beseech Deathly Whale Mob Skies into the Phantom Wraith if we choose to. And then I can fully block out this damage just by getting rid of the Widespread and the Reduce. I'm not sure why I went to the Undo there, but I didn't actually click it. All right, so we're banishing the Deathly Whale. We're going to pay the life, and then we're just going to send this for 8 with the Mauve Skies attached to it. If he lets this hit, we get the Phantom Wraith for essentially free. And then we can roll over 2 rune chants. If he doesn't let it hit, we can still just break the combat chain and send the Phantom. So we're still sending 11 damage on this attack, and then 8 damage on the next one for a 19 damage turn, which is pretty about where you like kind of want to be. You want to be in those like 15 plus areas if you can. So, okay, so he's going to block it out fully. Although we do eat his entire balance, and we get one of his tectonics. The balance isn't really going to be useful against us anyway. It's just a 2-block for this because we don't draw cards other than like sync. So we never draw more than 2 unless, or more than 1, unless we have a double sync turn. Then we would draw 2. All right, so he gets the test of strength off. They requested chat, but it was okay. He just said it was because it was bugging out. So we'll break chain because he didn't let it hit, and we'll just send the Phantom. Now, we didn't actually get a card out of his hand because when the test of strength happened and he got the gold, he did draw off of it. So he's probably going to block us out here too, but I think it's probably better to threaten it anyway. We probably could have held this Phantom and not attacked, but I think putting pressure is still important, and it still will force cards out of his hand. I was also hoping to maybe get another piece of equipment, but it is what it is. All right, so we have quite a bit to work with. So in this case, we can banish. So he's just coming in for 4, so that's fine. We really honestly I think we take that. We can banish the bounding, play the shadow puppetry, and then if we didn't have Nebula Blade, we could use the widespread destruction to send the Phantom Wraith. But because we do have Nebula Blade, then we can still send the Nebula Blade. We essentially just lose 1 damage because on hit we're getting the Rune Chant, but we're losing 1 by not sanding the Phantom, but we're gaining a card off of it because now we can Arsenal the Phantom. We're going to do the Shadow Puppetry for 5 on the bounding, and we'll see if this hits. Nope, they're just going to block it out. But we took a CNC out of him, and then we also got another equipment piece. So there's the Nebula Blade. So this is for 4, and if it hits, we get a Rune Chant. So that's just like huge for us. If we can roll Rune Chants over, especially against Guardian, we're kind of in the clear. So let's see if it hits. The thing that I love about arsenaling is with Crown, we can arsenal this Phantom and not even really be that concerned. Because even if we can't play it, we can just crown it away later if we really want to. So they didn't let that hit. But we got cards out of their hand. They're going to Seismic. Sending a CNC. So the Phantom isn't huge here. I'm kind of considering whether or not I want to just let this hit. Or, I mean, here's also where Crown is huge. I can just crown it away, and I save the card advantage. So, yep, so we got a Runeblood Incantation. So what we're looking at here, I think, is banish the Urser, play the Runeblood Incantation using the Mauve Skies. And as you can see, I mouse around a lot as I'm thinking. Shadow Puppetry into the Urser, and then use the Nebula Blade. Arsenal the Envelop. So here, this is good because 3 damage is either a card out of their hand or just 3 damage, which isn't very threatening. So we get to see the Shadow Puppetry. And if we hit something with the Shadow Puppetry, then we can maybe like chain off some attacks and stuff. So they let it hit, but it's Read the Runes. So we're not going to banish it, and we'll just send the Nebula Blade and then Arsenal the Envelop. They let this one hit, so at least we have a Rune Chant. But we didn't get an attack. So, all right, he's going to tear asunder. That's not great. And then he's going to Golden Sun for 8 dominate. So the play lines here are I can either just let the thing hit and then I'll banish and So basically I would let it hit, discard, maybe reduce and read the runes, and then banish, read the runes, play an incantation, or banish an incantation, play the read the runes, because I have the tunic resource. Or I can no blocks and then just play the reduce. I do get 1 rune chant, and it does block 4 damage. I discard 2, and then I banish, putting me at, what was it? I think it's 3 rune chants off of that. 4 because of the Revel. I think that's probably the best play. This one I'm not sure. That's what I ended up choosing to do. But I'm not sure if that was necessarily the correct play. If I would have taken the extra 4 and then discarded and just played, like, probably read the runes. No, I'd probably play the incantation. Yeah, I would have played the incantation. I would have played the incantation using the tunic resource, and then it would have just gotten me more rune chance. But value-wise, I think, like, strictly looking at the numbers, the reduce is the correct play, because it's a 5 value card instead of a 3 value card. That costs 1. All right, so Prime to Fight is just a vanilla 9. Doesn't do anything because you didn't have any tokens. I can banish Deathly Whale, play Mauve Skies, play Nebula Blade. I think the best thing to do is take 9 here, because again, it's just damage. We can also send back just damage. The things that we really have to worry about are like the crush effects. He could have Pummel here, holding 2 cards, but he doesn't, so that's good, because the Pummel would have hurt. I think what we do here, because we didn't use the tunic resource, banish the Deathly Whale, use the tunic to play the Envelop, paying 1. The reason we do this is just to set up rune chance. Play the Deathly Whale so that we'll get 2 rune chance on the like Deathly Whale close, and then we'll send a Nebula Blade. Either way. If he lets it hit, that's just 2 more rune chance that we're going to have. Right here, I'm just checking how much Go Again I have left. I have 4 in discard of Go Again. Trying to see how many options I'll have to be able to use the Revel. So it's coming for 9. Threatening 2 rune chance on hit. Block 6. Just block 6. No reaction. So he just gave us the extra 2. I'm honestly not really sure why they did this. I think it probably would have been better just to block it out. But then we'll send the additional 4 with the 2 rune chance. They took their rune chance. And they're just going to take the 4 too, giving us another rune chant. So what are they holding on to? A debilitate. Okay. So 8. So we don't... Our attack is a blue Deathly Whale. We don't really want to lose the 2 damage on the blue Deathly Whale. So I think what we do here is we probably use the Deathly Whale to set up again. We'll block Funeral Moon and Grasp. So we're blocking 5, taking 3, so Crush doesn't activate. And then use the Revel to play the Envelop, paying 1. So we'll set up 2 rune chants for next turn too. See, this is kind of like how we want to do it in the Guardian. We are kind of just trying to like chain value and then have like maybe like 1 or 2 really good turns. Yeah, I think this is what I like to do. Yeah, block 5, take 3. We're ahead, so we don't really have to like worry too much about damage itself. About like taking damage. We'll go to 12. Send the Deathly Whale. This is going to be for 7. And then the 5 rune chance. He has to take 1. I think he's probably deciding whether or not they're going to take the extra. Okay, so they're blocking out 3 of the rune chance and then take the final 2. Oh, so they do play pummel. So it's good they didn't have that one pummel, because that would have really hurt us. Block, take 1, go down to 5. Because the on hit, like I don't have an on hit here, so it's not really relevant. It's just damage. So we get 2 rune chance. We have a lot of attacks. In this scenario, we block Deathly Whale Bounding. Just block the damage. Don't use equipment, because I'm not going to be able to utilize 4 attacks in a turn. Like, it's just not going to happen. I don't have the extra resource to, like, revel and then do something with it. What I'm deciding here is whether or not I want to send the Widespread Ruin for 9 and keep pressure, or if I think it's worth saving it and trying to get a double gate next turn. Because if I get a go again, and if I have a go again in an attack, I'm guaranteed a double gate, and I decide to do that. Because we're just going to try to put as much pressure as we can. If I can survive this turn, this is what kind of where I was considering. If I can survive the turn with 2 cards being a go again and a gate, it doesn't even need to be a go again, because I can tunic creepers. As long as I can survive this turn with an attack and then something that I can give go again, then I'm okay. So he's coming for 5. The reason I'm blocking this right here is because I'm concerned that if he has like a huge dominate for some reason, that I won't be able to block enough and I'll just die. But it's just a 6 damage hammer. Realistically, we don't need to block this, because I think I can kill him next turn, but I'm going to do it anyway. So now what we can do, because I saved that attack, we can Mauve Skies into a Widespread. And then if the Widespread hits, we get 2 rune chance. But either way, I have the Revel in Arsenal, so I'm going to send the Widespread for another 10. So we're coming in with 20 damage, and he has 5 health. He has no equipment blocks, but he does have a full hand. So this is the kind of thing that we need to close out Guardians. We need these like really high damage turns. He took... See, in this scenario, I think he misplayed, or they, either one. They misplayed because I think you null rune to protect against the AB. Although they probably know that I have something for the fact that I played the Widespread with the go again. And then here's the extra 10. Because the issue is like, it's just so much damage. Maybe... I mean, obviously I didn't know at the time what they had in hand. I don't think that they survive it no matter what. But assuming that they don't, like, if they don't know what's in my arsenal, which they wouldn't, obviously, they are kind of like playing a little risky by taking those down to 1, because the next turn, if I can just get a shadow attack or shadow non-attack, I'll just be able to push the 1 damage through. But I think they like kind of figured that I was going to have something, so they were trying to have something to send back. So that was the game. Guardian is probably our hardest matchup, but I feel like I played it really well. I don't think in this one that I had too many misplays, but I think it was important to kind of comment where my thought processes were and like why I was thinking doing different things. So that's that. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the video. If you like this kind of style, I'll go ahead and do more. I'll do more that I misplay, and I'll kind of discuss where I was where I was thinking of taking it and why it didn't work out. But yeah, if you like this, let me know. If you didn't like it, let me know. Let me know your favorite kind of bread, I guess, in the comments. Why not? Yeah, let me know if you got to this point. Share your favorite type of bread, and then we'll maybe exchange recipes if enough people are super into their different kinds of bread. All right, guys. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.